good for the project for that 50 kilometer that's down up to Rock where it is now, and you allow it exposed to axle load of such now. And if you see some of the defect on the corridor, it's not that much, few defects.
I witnessed my colleague this morning on social media and then raging the kind of things he said regarding us as colleagues in the legislature.
What's in there? What's in the car?
What's a vision?
No, nothing.
So, the head of LTM in a tussle with his sergeant arm, refusing to turn over the lesson.
They can't stop your second time. They can't give you victory for your second term. Already you have lost the second term. I am not saying it categorically. Go and do your worst. Don't write to Nigerian government. Go and write to Donald Trump. We are going to settle it at Donald Trump court, not in Nigerian government. Shame to you. Your country, there's problem there. It's just a warnings. It's because you have hidden things about Liberia. Liberia will not be prosper under you. Bonka cannot be prosper under you. All of these mumu people that you are following writing, you are not enjoying it. The government, there's problem, there's hardship. This is what we tell Nigerian government. Ask. We told Nana Dokufo 2020 that his government is satanic. Did he report me to anybody? Bunker, your government is satanic. Everyone have condemned your government. Your second time is a failure. You won't win your second time. Mark my word, a prophet is talking. You don't need to talk. Go and use your juju to fight. You don't, instead of you to sit down, let this word humble you. Let the word humble you. You now write letter. You are wasting your ink to write to the Nigerian government because of one important personality of God telling you simple word. So said the Lord. Import 1 billion. George, where is the next president? Let me now come out clearly. Is the next president of Liberia. And mind you, first Saturday, I'm going to do press conference. Kings FM have been invited. Abraham God sent will be invited into this press conference. You will now hear more details. More. I don't reply president. But I now see that you are lazy. Hold man with laziness, with lazy officials who cannot give you simple explanation that calm down. Don't reply this man. No. I will just reply you. You will be ruined. You're going to get ruined. You are fighting God. You want to fight God through me. And God is ready to disgrace you. No more second time for you. Maybe you have been bringing prophets. They have been telling you what you will hear. What happened to Ham? He invited prophets. He said, I know that one man will never talk good about me. And what happened? He died disgracefully. Joseph, that is how your government will end disgracefully. Because I don't want to reply to you. You are full of satanic, devil, government. You don't have work. Go to China and borrow money. Go to IMF and borrow money. And leave this man of God alone. Thank you, Nigerian government, for giving them the right answer.
I will not submit my voice to anyone, no matter your position, no matter your status. I will only submit my voice the day the Lord Almighty takes my life. I will not change. And I'm in His government. I will not resign. If the government feels that I'm not in their interest, I'm prepared to be dismissed. I will not resign. I will continue to speak. and I said, I will not submit my voice to anyone, no matter your position, no matter your status. I will only submit my voice the day the Lord Almighty takes my life. I will not change. And I mean, it's government. I will not resign. If the government feels that I'm not in their interest, I'm prepared to be dismissed. I will not resign. I will continue to speak.
The speaker, the general speaker, they are playing. Tomorrow, we can say all of you. You know what I feel? But why is that doing?
The issue of the threshold bill that was passed recently, and then a motion of reconsideration was taken by one of our colleagues, which sparked heated debate around here. You know, on the 9th of December 2025, the House of Representatives passed on this bill and sent it to the Senate for concurrence. This bill was crafted the 2022 census result, which puts Liberia's population at around 5.2 million plus. And this submission was done to satisfy the constitutional requirements that are enshrined in Articles 80D and 80E. In 80D, it says each constituency shall have an approximately equal population of 20,000 or such number of citizens as the legislature shall prescribe in keeping with population growth, a movement as reviewed by the National Census.
It's Magella Cooper. I'm the senior political advisor to His Excellency Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker.
The example of our President, His Excellency Joseph Boakai. This is why we are here. Let me be on record. This is the national actor of Republic of Liberia. That is the nucleus of Liberia. Now, everything that Liberia needs to reflect on the historicity how Liberia was built, we have it. But the central government has forgotten about it. And we will continue while we will speak. Mercy! And the world will hear us.
Coming from the executive.
I say, I don't know why the president chose to think about football academy right after the exit of the footballing president. President Boakai had never, I don't think he even played in elementary school. To sit and decide that he would play a football academy, something that was being done by President Weah, who is celebrated around the world as who is celebrated in Africa. We think that is a serious challenge. That's a serious challenge. Everyone should watch.
I can't stand no more, 'cause can I go to school, 'cause no more money. I can't stand no more, 'cause no more food. I cannot
And this is Bicado. This one major headlines in our country, Liberia.
In the press release today. Although I read
Indeed, today is Tuesday, the 9th day of June 2026, and my name is William Papa Lockyball McGill. I'd like to welcome all of you to the round table. It's a great pleasure to be on here tonight so that we can talk about great things. So, good evening and welcome to the round table on WIZZ TV, your platform for informed discussion, critical analysis, and national dialogue on the issues shaping Liberia today. I'm your host, William Papa Lockyball McGill. Tonight, we will focus on so many national issues. President Boakai relieved Konante from Ambassador Konate, former Ambassador Konate, let me make it straight, from his position. We'll look at a possible expulsion there coming in from a lawmaker of Bonkante and several other issues across the country. So tonight, we do not have a panelist, but we will talk the talk we can talk as we want to make an impact on our ordinary people here. So stay tuned as we take a break and we will be right back. After we come back, we'll break down the facts, ask difficult questions, and provide perspectives that matter. So this is the round table on WIZZ TV. Don't you go away. My name is William.
how many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money. No girls, no glory. No help for poor men. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money. No girls, no glory. No help for poor men. That's what we know. We are major demands. We are major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We are major demands. We are major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. You don't know stories? You've been rapping stories for rap of ages. Keep rapping stories.
You don't know stories. We got stories from Rockle Ages. That's Picado, and we like to wish Picado a speedy recovery. The reason I've always been on the show to say speedy recovery to Picado every time that I got the information that Picado was facing some traumatic situation. So we hope that he can recover soon, and we have some bangers coming in from him right there. So this is the round table. Welcome to the program here on WIZZ TV. My name is William McGill, and it's a great pleasure. The round table comes to you every Tuesday, and Thursday, beginning at 10 p.m. Liberia time. So, what is it we have in politics for today in history? Margaret Thatcher re-elected on June 9, 1983, and she was a British Prime Minister. Margaret Thatcher secured a landslide victory in her second term, marked by success in the Falklands War and division within the opposition Labour Party. And today in history, Aung San assassination happened in 1947. The independence of Burma, Na Myanmar, was perfumely imparted when Prime Minister in waiting Aung San and several cabinet ministers were assassinated, altering the country's political tragedy. And one great achiever events in history on June 9 was the event that saw the political coups, alliance, and legislative actions that influenced regional power shift. The Congress of Vienna in 1814 concluded in negotiations to recognize Europe following the Napoleonic Wars and setting new political boundaries. So we'll quickly take a stroll to our BBC News and bring you all of the happenings coming from across Africa right there. And then after that, we will go to, you know, uh, we'll go to our main program. So this is exactly what we have coming in from the British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC, and yeah, I just want to bring you a full description of how everything is. So this is news from Africa. News from Africa says man reportedly shot at KM protest against U.S. Ebola quarantine center. Man reportedly shot at KM protest against U.S. Ebola quarantine center. So it says protesters are concerned about cross-border infection risk and the lack of transparency from the government about the treatment center there in Kenya. So a man was shot there. And this is coming in from sports where it says, I have right peppers and visa, Ber referee Atran. So Somalian Reverend Oman Atran, Oman Atan says he was subjected to a 11-hour immigration interview before being denied entry to the United States of for the World Cup, despite holding the right papers and right visa. This is, bro. I don't want to talk about situation coming in from the U.S., especially concerning black immigrants from Africa. I think if I start to go hash on Donald Trump, who is the president, it will not mean good for myself. But again, I don't want to go America now, so we got to take it easy. But again, right, this is not fair. Let me say it. Whether they will give me visa the day I'm ready for A or the day I opportune to go for it or not, I don't care. I love Liberia. That's the fact, and that's the best thing I can say to anybody. You cannot subject we Liberians, we Africans, because there's certain thing that went wrong. I believe what Trump, who is the president of the United States of America, is doing. We'll talk that for another time. Let me don't get done with the stories, then I can come in and express myself concerning this. Who is the Somalian referee that's barred from entering the US for World Cup? Oman Atan was set to become the first Somalian to ref again at the World Cup finals, but his place in history has been denied by US immigration authorities. And this coming in from Kenyan says, blow for Kenyan's ex-deputy president as court upholds his impeachment. Again, blow for Kenyan's ex-deputy president as court upholds his impeachment. The decision weakens Heart's bid for the presidency, although his lawyers have vowed to challenge the ruling. And quickly, from Malawi, Malawians repatriated from South Africa amid xenophobic concern. Malawi is among several African nations transporting their citizens out of the country following reports of violence against migrants. So I got two issues to talk about, right? Let me bring myself back on the camera and we can basically now go ahead to talk. I want to come back on camera. The first one has to do with the referee from Somalia that was chosen by FIFA, the world governing body of football, to go and ref football matches there in the US. I believe Trump, who is the president of the United States of America, is not doing well in terms of African migrants. Despite we have other countries, if I would be given that opportunity to speak freely, that I can name that I interpret in terms of these activities. But again, you cannot set us at a hostage for your country to be accepted into hosting one of the world's biggest event in soccer, in football, however you may call it. The US shouldn't be setting a blockage for supporters who wants to go to the US and deny visa to go and support their country. To Trump and his surrogates of supporters or whoever thinks people in Africa are suffering, where these same people come from America and Europe to take our resources to better their country. How can you stop a referee that is going to the US to go and ref a game? And he was given accreditation out of the valid documents by the world governing body of football. I think FIFA needs to come up. And if FIFA is not careful, they might not generate the revenue spent into this World Cup, because Trump, who is the president of the United States, is very, very racist. I would say that. I don't care whether I go to the US embassy here in my country for visa and they deny me because I'm saying this. I don't care. But Trump and his people that works in his government are racist. Very, very racist. Are racist. I'm saying it. And we cannot have these things happening. Give the young man from Somalia the opportunity. You know, we are not. I don't want to use crush words. I don't want to use that. I don't want to use that. Hmm? We need a space that we can go and celebrate our African countries. Trust me. If FIFA is not careful, this World Cup will be a failure in the US. You cannot stop supporters, even to the extent that some countries we know from Africa had to put a strong supporters, or very strong supporters of their national team into their squad list, just to have access to go into the US and supporting their country. Make that make sense. Do you guys actually feel that we are suffering here in Africa? That's one thing I want to ask. We are not. I believe our politicians, our government needs to level up things they are doing so that we can be able to understand the fact that we can live here in peace and harmony and everything, and be able to move ourselves together. Hmm? Ourselves together in peace and harmony and everything, and we move ourselves together. But again, these people are doing what they knows how to do best. Yeah? And quickly before we get to our main discussion, we might have a guest that I'm very sure of. So let me go to South Africa, right? My first question to these South Africans: do you guys actually feel that because you're in South Africa, you're not African? This is something that shows a high level of stupidity of how we Africans are. We will give excess privilege to people coming from America. Yeah, I would say that. Excess privilege to people coming from Europe. I would say that. Excess privilege to whoever coming from foreign countries. Xenophobic attack is something that is not the first of its kind. and we've seen among South Africans and Nigerians. I'm saying this to say that out of the deportation, that there's no work in South Africa and the foreigners taking, I think these are South African people are very lazy. They're not ready to do the job Nigerians and other foreigners are doing in their own home. They should level up and get to do the right thing. Level up, get to do the right thing. Of course. When we level up as Africans and do the right thing as Africans, it's not going to be the same way you see it to be. We have to level up and do the right thing. Let's take, for instance, I'm a Liberian here in Liberia, and I choose not to work. When foreigner come and get a job that I'm supposed to get you, I get mad? No. But again, those are discussions for another day because we have a lot on our plate and we have to talk about them as time is far spent. We have to talk about these things in a very critical and serious ways that we can. We have to talk about these things in a very serious way that we can. So let's take a quick break with our first discussion and hear what this guy have to say, you know. And we hoping that David K. Bala can join us as the link was being sent to his page. He's our guest to talk about mental health later on today. David, hoping that we can join you on our program and be able to move on. So you can click on the link, David, if you're watching us or you're listening to us, and be mental health. That's something that people don't take serious, but I believe in you and your advocacy in terms of young people. But let's take this break, and we're hoping that David can join us on the program here at the round table. Let's take this break quickly, and let me get the ambassador. The president relieved the mayor from his position. I get more to say, but we get the ambassador first before we get to whatever.
I will not submit my voice to anyone, no matter your position. The day the Lord Almighty takes my life, I will not change. And I mean, it's government. I will not resign. If the government feels that I'm not in their interest, I'm prepared to be dismissed. I will not resign. I will continue to speak. And I check I will not submit my voice to anyone, no matter your position, no matter your status. I will only submit my voice the day the Lord Almighty takes my life. I will not change. And I mean, it's government. I will not resign. If the government feels that I'm not in their interest, I'm prepared to be dismissed. I will not resign. I will continue to speak. And I check I will not submit my voice to anyone, no matter your position, no matter your status. I will only submit my voice the day the Lord Almighty takes my life. I will not change. I mean, it's government. I will not resign. If the government feels that I'm not in their interest, I'm prepared to be dismissed. I will not resign. I will continue to speak. And I check I will not submit my voice to anyone, no matter your position, no matter your status. I will only submit my voice the day the Lord Almighty takes my life. I will not change. I'm not in their interest. I'm prepared to be dismissed. I will not resign. I will continue to speak.
So this is Ibrahim Koyate, and you listen to what, and you guys listen to what he have to say, right? Um, times and numbers, right? Um, basically, we've had uh, we've had several conversations about his statement into, how government is being run and everything, right? And the fact that he was very vocal and even went to the point of calling lawmakers corrupt. Yeah, I can remember that. He said those guys were very corrupt and yodi yodi yo and everything, right? And my thing is, basically, you as an appointed official shouldn't be speaking. We will have Dere later on, but let me get done with this discussion for Koyate, who was relieved from his position, that we can talk about men's mental health quickly. Right. So the thing about it is, you cannot be an appointee of government and you speak so bad about the government. It shows that you are in the opposition and you're trying to find some relief of how the public can see you to be somebody who speaks for them. Almost like the case of Yeke Koluba, former representative of District 10 Montserrado. So Koyate said lawmakers were corrupt, concession agreements were being yodi yodi yo, and whatever he says. He later on came to apologize to these people. When journalists went back to him for an interview, he said he apologized, but he mean what he said. Let me be frank, and I want to be blunt with African politics. I cannot appoint you as a person. If I'm a president or whoever I am in a particular position, and you're speaking against my leadership at that point, you mean no help to me as a person. Koyate is just showing how he was being, what's the real word I should use? Silent or marginalized in the process. And he needed to speak however he speak so that the public will understand that, yeah, you better point there, but the message is speaking. And trust me, at the end of the day, 2029, you'll see that man on ballot to be your lawmaker or whatever, whatever. I'm saying this to say that as an appointee of government, you are accountable to the government and the people, to the people and the government, however you want to term that. The president is a president of wisdom. He did a very phenomenal job. He did a great job by relieving you, because you cannot be an ambassador, right? Ambassador, and you speak anyhow. What's the bro? Why am I missing to pronounce ambassador? Yeah, you cannot be an ambassador and you just speak anyhow you want to. It shows how irresponsible you are. Some of us do not believe in certain thing this government is doing, but we will still come out to appreciate the fact if they are doing the right thing. And we'll come out here to speak the fact if they are not. Because the reason is, all we want for Liberia is the best. I do have children unborn, grandchildren, great grandchildren unborn that will come and meet our legacy. And when they speak and call my name to people that knows me, oh, Will is your father, your grandfather. Willie is your great grandfather. What did Willie do to help better Liberia for you and your children? Not like Joseph Jengy Rabba and people that came and built a dead black foundation that we still struggling to reconstruct to a cement black. We want a country that we can rely on, that will give us the value. So, Koyate, let me say this bluntly. You want to be relieved. You speaks a lot, you talks a lot, as if to say you're not working for government and you know what you are doing, my brother. So that all I got to tell you, thank the president for taking you from that job. Somebody else needs it. You don't joke with government job. But quickly, let's take David. David is our guest on the show tonight. And I'd like to say good evening to you, Mr. David K. Bala Jr. He's the incoming CEO of Messiah Mission Institute, and he's the Chief Executive Officer of the Transformation for the Future Foundation, a great institution that have been helping in terms of transforming young people life. Good evening and welcome to the roundtable, David.
Yeah, good evening. To repeat the statement, I'm one of the executive director of Transformation and Future Foundation.
How's everything going, my brother? And how has the the institution running?
Oh yes, I want to say firstly, I want to say thank you for keeping me on the show and getting me on the show. Transformation and Future Foundation is moving powerfully with the aim and energy of young people who are helping to see the improvement of others young people in our country like Liberia.
Um, Basically, I saw you have been promoting a flyer of lately in terms of men's mental health week, and this is something that is not oftenly done by most institutions. What is the inspiration, or what is it that drew your attention to, you know, creating that awareness for men, especially here in Pinsville, Montserrat?
Okay, firstly, well, if we go back to the Men Mental Health Month, the Men Mental Health Month is a month that is set aside for men to champion mental health. This month is a month that men have to see the worth and men have to help other brothers, fathers to carry on to champion the work of our mental health. Mental health is one of our key silent killer for majority of men around the world today. And if we look at men, what really motivated me to come to really do the awareness and even host an event, men have been marginalized in a sense that right now you as a man, if you are married and then you are abused by a wife or your wife just slap you and beat you,
Yes, I'm a
and then
I'm a married man.
okay, and then your wife slap you normally, beat you normally, and then you take that particular complaint at the police station or at the law enforcement agency. The first thing
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna look at you are to be weak. They're gonna say you are weak. They are not even gonna take that particular complaint serious. They want or won't carry that particular issue at that particular police station. So because of that, people look at women to be what champions. People will say that you should not cry, carry it
So quick,
alone.
so
You are
quickly,
weak.
I want to cut you there, right?
Mhm.
With what you said earlier on, does this mean that you've seen the entire republic, the government in general, and the legal system to see men as strong people that they shouldn't complain and they shouldn't express themselves in terms of mental health, in terms of trauma, stress, and everything?
Exactly. I will say this for free exactly because number one, there is a video that is circulating online of a young guy who was sodomized by another person. And then he tried to express his pain. And then the female in that particular video who was doing a particular interview started laughing.
Mhm,
So you see the discrimination right there. She started laughing because she feel like he is a man.
mhm,
She should have championed that by herself. He should have
mhm,
handled it like a man. but probably he might not have that particular screen, or he doesn't have that screen for that particular person. And he tried to explain his pain, but she didn't see it. And other people came on her post and started laughing and started saying a whole lot. Because what? That particular individual is a male, not a female. And
Do
today,
you
even you see, when it
do
comes to
you
mental
do,
health, no, come on,
can
tell me.
you can you hear me? Do you think there's no much laws in place in terms of putting men into that right position? Like, if a female just allegedly carry you to a police station and allege that you've raped, with no proper investigation, you will be held beyond bars until further investigation. Do you think there's no proper laws in terms of protecting men? And we do have our fellow men that are sodomizing men across Liberia.
I will say this for sure. We don't have those particular laws that are going to guarantee our constitutional right, that are going to protect our right, than those laws that women have. Like you said, if a woman go to a particular police station and say, "Oh, I was sexually abused, I was raped, I was physically abused by a man," that particular man is going to be put behind bar, and that man going to face the legal consequences of our law. But if a particular man is going to channel this same situation, in fact, the judgmental aspect comes right at that particular police station. Say, even the officer that you're going to meet at the desk, the first thing the officer going to say, "My man, move on here, man. You are a man. Why you bring a woman complaint? You don't know how to handle your issue. You know how to handle your woman." But forgetting to know that all men don't have the same strength, don't have the same capacity, and men, we are different when it comes to our mental health issue. Seriously, our mental
You
health
think
issue.
mental
Some
you think mental health is important? That's the first question. And secondly, what are you doing in order to be, because I saw the flyer, what are you doing and what are you going to do in order to educate men how to take mental health, not just men, but the public in general, how to take men mental health into a serious consideration?
one, mental health is very important more as a whole, but since we are talking about mental health more, it is very important for men. One, as an individual like you and myself, if we are not mentally stable, we'll not be able to be on this platform today, right? If we are not mentally stable, we will not be able to initiate a discourse or a discussing. Because well, when you have a mental illness, it lead you into depression. It increase your anxiety. It lead you into habit that you don't want to do it. Not like I always say the example, right? Not every man you see out there drinking liquor or who is an alcoholic mean that a particular person just want to be an alcoholic person. No. But there are certain things that particular man is going through. But he don't have the strength to share it out because society see him to be strong. Social and cultural expectation that he's a man, he is the head of the home, he should protect. But we have emotions, we have feelings, we should cry things out. We should share things out when we are going through certain things. We should share out. But who can we share out to that will not judge us? Who can we share out to that we see as a positive way for us to move forward instead of seeing it as a negative way? So these are the things that I want for us to see. I want for we men to see, I want, like grow as a whole. Even if you are a married man, if you are a single person, if you are a boy, it's something that we have to see. We have to come together to build a particular movement. Like I take this example, right? You have a man who is in an office, right? Probably he struggle to go to work and he don't have a particular money to go back home. There's no mean on him going back home. But he want to ask his fellow men, but he kind of afraid. He kind of scared because he feel like if I ask my friend, I may feel rejected. He may say you are not man enough. If I ask my friend, he will say certain things to my face. But we men should be the one who are giving helping hands to our fellow men. We men should be the one to talk to our fellow men. And sometimes some people say, "John Brown, have you called me in a while? I will not call him." But you don't know what that particular person is going through. Maybe it may be a family pressure, work pressure, You don't understand that particular thing that person is carrying at that particular time. You don't know if just your call, oh hi bro, how you doing? How everything. You don't know if just that simple thing can relieve that man to express to you to say things, and you don't know if you that particular call can make you save or life. Because you see, suicide nowadays, 85% of suicide are done by men. So this is why we have to create this awareness. This is why we have to build a network. That recently AME you just lost a student because of the same mental illness, depression. So these are things that we have to see as a country. These are things that we have to put in place. The legislatures, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, Ministry of Health. These are things that we have to look at when it comes to what mental illness, especially when it comes to men. Two, you were saying like
Do you
what?
act? Yeah, go ahead.
Two, you are saying what are we doing? So right now, I'm engaging all media sources. I even did a letter right now. I'm trying to present it tomorrow at the Ministry of Youth and Sport to engage with the Minister of Youth and Sport when it comes to the main mental health month. I was successful in communicating with the youth advisor and the president of the Youth Advisory Council, Mandela, and we've been talking. He also sees this as a particular impactful thing that we are about to do. And I'm also working with another organization called Unleashing Your Voice. We want to see if we can have an event at the Liberia Learning Center, which will be around the 28th. We are pushing to see if we can have the event. And then also at the end of this year, this will be one of my greatest tasks, and I'm asking all for us to work together, put hands together. I want to see how we can have a national men conference or a national men dialogue that men will come together. As we express ourselves, we sit, we talk, we find a solution, how we can handle things, how we can handle issue when it comes to mental health, how we can fight issue when it comes to mental health and mental illness.
Yeah. So, what are those activities that you have going on in terms of celebrating and educating the public in general? Because this is not just about educating men, but it's about educating the public in general to be able to take the mental health of men very seriously. What are those activities that you have that will be happening for publicity and education of the general public in terms of taking mental health seriously for men?
For now, I'm trying to engage with media stakeholders. Like today, I opportunity to message O'Neill Robert. I'm trying to engage. Opportunity to talk with Emmanuel Colley from ELBC. So I want to engage media actors so that I can have a time to get on the air to discuss what we are discussing. Because this thing we are talking is a very serious issue, but people don't see it to be serious. Because if a man is not mentally stable, my brother, that particular home gonna be disorganized. At his job site gonna be disorganized. His children gonna feel that particular emotion. His wife or his girlfriend gonna feel that particular emotion. And then if he go into the state of depression and start drinking a lot, that particular anxiety, the increase of that anxiety, that woman not going to get full money. The children are not going to be looking after. So these are things that we need to see to take this mental health more important. And we want to see how we can close it because we are still working on that. We are looking for fundings also. So we want to close it with a picnic. And like I said, we'll have an indoor program at the Library Learning Center with Unleashing
You
My Voice.
you talk about picnic. Is the picnic gonna be so men, or the men can bring their girls along?
Yes, the men gonna bring that girls along because why? This is important. Woman, when you understand the importance of your mental health, you're gonna understand why it takes to keep a man in a mental well-being. Because like if you know that if a man comes home with a certain face, you know that probably his work wasn't good or he brought out with something different, you're gonna know how to engage that particular situation at that particular time. But because most women don't understand, so when a man is having a rough day, they just come into and bash in and add their own rough time to that particular rough day, and then now that man now want to find isolation. That is where you find most men will tell you, say, anywhere I find peace, that's where I will be. Yeah,
What are
this is I think
those that are what are those that who are those that are invited for the event? Is it the general public? Are you giving special invitation to special people to be able to understand, awareness that you are carrying on for men's mental health?
so the particular something is open to all. It's open to the public because we want because especially for the indoor program, we are expecting only men for the indoor program because we want men to share their feelings. We want men to exhale because like if you inhale, you have to exhale. So we want men to come up. Them men express their mind. Them men be free to engage with each other because sometimes we are not free to engage with each other. We are not free to face our problem. We are not free to talk it out with our fellow brothers. So it gives us some difficult times. So now we will need men that will be there. Even though we got some people who will come upon and she for he. So these are women too who are championing men mental health with me. They are now Miss Princess Dan. She is championing this particular thing with me. And we have other women too who are championing this particular mental health with me. So these are issues that we will have because these are people who understand when it comes to mental health. So they are our she for he. They see what they have, he for she, they are our she for he.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Divike Bara. Anything else we didn't talk about before we take a leave of you quickly?
Yeah, so this is just one. I just want for you to give me a few minutes to just say few words. This is something that I wrote down. It's
Yeah, go
called
ahead.
why men are scared to talk about their emotions. So like men are scared to talk about emotion because they are fear of being judged. They feel that when they say that emotion, they are going to be judged. Society is going to see them as weak. People are going to bully them. To cultural and social expectation. Social and cultural expectation allow men to be what on top of their games. That means you sitting here today, if I can scream more than you and we're in a ring, if I punch your face, even you are feeling that pain, you are not supposed to cry. Because what society expects you to be strong. Society expects you to be a man. You look at fear of rejection. That means they are scared to express their emotion because when they talk it to another person, that person may feel like they are not man enough. They may bring that rejection attitude. They may bring that rejection saying lack of safe space. Who can they see away? So these are things that we want to have the event for. Because when you trust your fellow man, you feel free to say anything to him at any time. But when you don't trust your fellow man, you won't feel free to say a particular thing to him at any time. So as we close this, I just want to tell you thank you. And I also want all media, including you, when it comes to our indoor program, our picnic we're working on, we expect you to be there. And we also expect you to be one of our partners because we want to see how we can host the Men National Conference or Men National Dialogues. So we want you to work with us so that we can make this to be a particular thing. Let us champion men mental
Yo,
health.
pay me. Yo, pay me.
We're working on funny. So when everything is set,
Yeah,
we'll
Ben
tell
Live
you.
is it working? But yeah, like, bro, man, say working on funny. Just know that free project you own, my man. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, David. And we highly appreciate you as our guest tonight for the roundtable. We hope that when your program gets closer, we can be informed and give you the platform again to be able to encourage the public to understand what is it you are pushing as an institution and as a body as well. Thank you for coming on tonight, David.
Thank you very much, Mr. Host. I appreciate. Thank you so much.
Peace. David K. Bala Jr., and he's been our guest on the program, The Roundtable. Let's take a quick commercial break from Kakuyan Hair Collection. Right after that break, we take our theme song and conclude the program, The Roundtable. My name is William Papa Lokebo McGill, and I want you to stick with us tonight. It's the moment you walk into a room, hair that gives you confidence, beauty, and that flawless look you truly deserve. Well, your search is finally over. Welcome to Kakuyan Hair Collection, your trusted online destination for luxury, premier quality human hair designed to bring out the beauty in every woman. Whether you are preparing for your birthday photo shoot, wedding, anniversary celebration, graduation, church event, vacation, or just want a stunning look every day, Kakuyan Hair Collection has a perfect hair just for you. At Kakuyan Hair Collection, we proudly offer 100% premium human hair. Beautiful, easy to wear glueless wigs. No glue, no gel, no stress. Sleek and elegant bone straight human hair. Different texture and style for every woman and every occasion. Because at Kakuyan Hair Collection, beauty meets quality. Shop with a brand that understands beauty. Class and quality. To guys from Nimber, and uh, we're going to talk more about issues that matter the most about our country, Liberia. So Nimber USA chapter will be on our program on Thursday, and it's been a splendid production here from WIZZ TV. Bye bye. My name is William McGill. Have a great night. I'm out.